My name is Joe Gorley, and I'm a woodworker. From the time that I was very young, I've always had a passion for creative things. My mom and dad were art collectors. I, in particular, have had a passion for understanding how things are made. Not only painting and sculpture, but also the more utilitarian aspects, artifacts of technological society. How roads are made, how bridges are made, how furniture is made, and what are the creative impulses behind the men and women that have made those things. When May and I got married and began to have children, I realized that what the children see as normal is what they see their parents do. And so I made a conscious decision at that point that not only did I want to do something creative, but I wanted to do something that where my children could see me start with something, go through a process, an intentional process, to end up with something that was both beautiful and useful. I have a deep respect for people that make things that are ephemeral and people that make things that you might characterize as decorative. But my own personal creative impulses are around combining beauty and combining utility into a single object, and hopefully an object that will be more durable than I will be. There are many things a child can learn from woodworking. When you do woodworking, even though it is creative, there are rules. They are rules of nature, rules of God, rules of the universe. So for example, when you take your tool and you work your tool with the grain, things work really well. If you work your tool against the grain, it doesn't matter how much you desire to do things that way, it simply will never work. And either the object will break, or your tool will break, or it will come out all gobbled up and ugly. They will find out it's not working, and Daddy, this thing just won't cut anymore. Why is it like this? And I have to teach them. Here's how you read the grain. Another example, and for me something that transcends a lot of life, is dull tools do not work. And this is true at work as well. If my mind is not sharp, I will underperform. If my character is not correctly formed, it doesn't matter how hard I try and how badly I want things to work, the situation probably will not turn out well for me. I talked a little bit about longevity. I am not going to last forever. So I have pictures of my dad. My parents passed away a number of years ago. I have pictures of my mom and dad. But my children never knew them. And so my mother and father are an abstraction to my children. So I had a desire, somewhat selfish, but it is what it is, to be remembered more concretely by the generations that will come after my children, that won't have any reason to look at my pictures and to whom I will be nothing more than an abstraction. So one of the things that I do when I undertake a major project, I sign it, I date it, I write something about the children that I have, so that when I'm dead and gone, and when they're dead and gone, whoever inherits this piece, there is some piece of me and some piece of them that will transcend time a little bit farther on. But a wonderful thing about woodworking is it gives you the opportunity to join and be part of a silent community. So I have chisels that are made by blacksmiths who make their living making these chisels. And I have some tools that were made by amateurs like me that I use, and I've made tools for them. And every time I go out into my shop and I use these things, it strikes me that I am using the work of the hands of somebody else that are as passionate about what they do and the piece of material culture that they have produced as I am. And when I die, my tools will pass on to my children, or if my children don't want them, I will pass them on to another craftsman who will appreciate them. And so everyone who does what I do or things similar to what I do become part of a greater community. And it's a communal culture, by the way, that is quite different and in many ways incomprehensible to people who have never participated in the act of making something themselves. We feel like we are richer for it, and we appreciate others like us. One of the projects that I made that I appreciate the most is a chess set. When I was a child, my friends and I learned to play chess fairly early, and we were average chess players. At one point, I decided that what I really wanted was a nice chess set. The issue that I had is I couldn't afford a chess set of the quality that I wanted. So I started looking around, and what I discovered is that for a number of reasons, they simply were not made anymore. So I made a chess set. I'm very pleased with it. Hopefully this chess set will last longer than I do and will be cherished by my children. You don't have to be a professional to make nice things. You don't necessarily have to be all that skilled to make really nice things. You can take the time that you would spend in front of the television making something for yourself or for others that really enriches their lives. The other point here, or at least something that is true for me, is it helped me appreciate why God cherishes us. He cherishes us in part because He made us. This chess set has many defects, but I really love this chess set in large part because I put a lot of time and effort into it. I made it with my own hands. Be bold with what you want to do. Don't think that I don't have the skill or I'm not good enough or this is not good enough. Just go forward and start doing it. And so I hope that everyone that sees this will have a desire to make use of their time in that way.